I've burned the letters and I've changed the locks. I've hidden all your pictures in a cardboard box. I tell my friends that I'm finally doing fine, that I don't see a ghost in a glass of wine. But logic is a liar when the sun goes down and the truth comes out to haunt this empty town. My head says you're a lesson I was meant to learn, a bridge that I was lucky just to watch it burn. But there's a rebel living deep inside my chest that hasn't put the memory of us to rest. 'Cause my heart still wants you, even when I don't. It says I can't forget, but then it knows it won't. I've built 1,000 walls, but you're the crack in every stone, a stubborn little post that I can't leave alone. I'm a house divided, a soul out of control. 'Cause my heart still wants you, and it's swallowing me whole. I saw someone who had your eyes today. I had to turn my head and look the other way, 'cause the muscle in my side started aching like a wound to the rhythm of a heartbeat that is still out of tune. I'm a master of the moving on, a pro in moving fast, but I'm tethered to the shadow of a long gone past. I've tried to find a replacement, I've tried to find a spark, but every other fire feels like standing in the dark. It's an involuntary craving, a hunger in the bone, like a dog that's always waiting for his master to come home. My heart still wants you. I told it to stop, I told it we're through, but it won't listen. No, it only hears you. Still want you. We spoke in glances across a crowded room, a secret garden that was never meant to bloom. shouted vows, no promises out loud. Just two shadows hiding in the safety of the cloud. I learned the grammar of your heartbeat on my skin, the quietest war that I was ever in. We didn't need the words to feel the weight of a love that arrived just a little bit too late. We built a kingdom out of whispers and sighs, and hid the truth behind our tired eyes. We loved in silence, so we break without a sound. No crashing thunder as it hits the ground. Just the quiet static of a heart left on the line, tracing every border that we couldn't cross in time. A beautiful secret that the world will never know, because we loved in silence, and in silence I let go. Now I'm memorizing the spaces you used to fill, the coffee getting cold, the morning standing still. I wanna scream your name until my lungs give out, but we never gave ourselves anything to shout about. So I keep your memory in a locket made of glass, watching all the things we never said finally pass. Maybe in another life we're loud enough to stay. Maybe we don't have to hide the light away. But here in the almost, in the could have been, the loudest part of loving you was keeping it within. We loved in silence, so we break without a sound. No crashing thunder as it hits the ground. Just the quiet static of a heart left on the line, tracing every border that we couldn't cross in time. A beautiful secret that the world will never know, because we loved in silence, and in silence I let go. Shh, can you hear it? The sound of a heart that never got to speak, just a whisper in the wind, a love that never lived, but will never truly end. I used to welcome the closing of the light, back when your ghost didn't haunt the dead of night. Close the curtains, let the ceiling take the view, but every dream was just a doorway back to you. And now I'm terrified to drift, I'm scared to close my eyes, 'cause I can't handle waking up to your disguise. The rest of the world is drifting off to sleep, into a darkness where the secrets aren't so deep. But I'm stuck here in the hallway of the wild, watching every star burn out across the sky. And the night turned without dreams. Everything is louder than it seems. Without a vision to get me through the black, I'm just a body waiting for the light to crack. No silver lining, no soft place to land, just the cold sheets and an empty head. Yeah, the nights hurt without dreams. They say the moon is just a mirror for the sun, but it feels like a spotlight on everything I've done. I used to see us in the patterns of the stars. Now the only thing I see are these jagged scars. The silence is a predator, it's biting at my heels, reminding me that I've lost the way that healing feels. I take a nightmare just to see your face, to feel a flicker in this hollow space. But the screen is blank, the signal's gone dead. I'm just a prisoner inside my own head, counting the hours, praying for the gray to wash this heavy, lonely, dark away. 'Cause the nights hurt without dreams. Everything is louder than it seems. Without a vision to get me through the black, I'm just a body waiting for the light to crack. No silver lining, no soft place to land, just the cold sheets and an empty head. Yeah, the nights hurt without dreams. The sun is coming, but it's not enough. Just another day of acting tough. Wide awake in the ache where the dreams used to be. Then a sharp, abrupt silence. The street lights flicker like a dying spark, while I'm negotiating with the dark. I tell my mind to let the memory go, but there's a current moving down below. It doesn't scream, it doesn't make a scene. It just lives in the spaces in between. It's the creak in the floor, the wind at the glass, the ghost of the footsteps that never quite pass. I try to drown it out with a hollow sound, but the quietest things are the hardest to bound. 'Cause pain whispers every single night. It me cry. It just breathes your name like a lullaby. A low, steady home underneath my skin, reminding me of everywhere you've been. Yeah, the pain whispers and I listen in. I fold the laundry that you left behind, like I'm sorting through the wreckage of my mind. I thought by now the noise would start to fade, but I'm still haunted by the choices that we made. It's a soft vibration in the heavy air, telling me you're gone, but you're everywhere. It whispers in the kitchen, whispers in the hall. It writes your signature across the bedroom wall. I ask for mercy, I ask for some peace, but the murmurs of heartbreak will never quite cease. Cause pain whispers every single night. It waits for me to turn out every light. It doesn't need to shout to make me cry. It just breathes your name like a lullaby. And I listen in. It says your name, it says not today. It never goes away. It just whispers. It just whispers. The drawers are open and the closet's bare. There's a lingering scent of you still in the air. I'm walking through hallways that feel like a cage, a story that ended on the middle page. I reach for your hand in the heat of the night, but I'm grasping at shadows and losing the light. You took the color took the sound, you took the gravity that kept me on the ground. Now I'm just a vessel with nothing inside, nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. 'Cause you left me empty, like a glass on the floor, like a house with no windows and a lock on the door. I'm a hollowed out shell of the person I was, missing your heart just because you took every piece of the best part of me. Now I'm just an echo of who I should be. Yeah, you left me empty. I try to fill up the space with the noise of the rain, but the water just washes over the pain. There's a hole in my chest where the fire used to burn. I'm waiting for lessons I'll never quite learn. I'm a map with no landmarks, a sky with no blue, just a long lonely road that doesn't lead back to you. They say less is more, but they never felt this, the bottomless pit of a permanent miss. I'm starving for something that's already gone, trying to find a reason to make it to dawn. 'Cause you left me empty, like a glass on the floor, like a house with no windows and a lock on the door. I'm a hollowed out shell of the person I was, missing your heart just because you took every piece of the best part of me. Now I'm just an echo of who I should be. Nothing left to give, nothing left to feel, just a hollow ring of the cold heart real. Empty, so empty.
The piano fades to it's just nothing but tapping and silence.
I turn the dial just to kill the quiet, but the airways start a lonely ride. A minor chord, a familiar strain, and suddenly I'm standing in the rain. Every lyric feels like it was ghost-written by the parts of me that are still frostbitten. I thought I swept the memories off the floor and latched the deadbolt on the bedroom door. But a melody is a skeleton key that unlocks the version of you and me. 'Cause pain hides in songs, in the bridge and the hook. It's the chapter we close, but we won't stop to look. It's a stowaway riding on a 4-bar phrase, pulling me back to our neon haze. I can't escape the rhythm or the way it feels, like a record spinning on broken wheels. Yeah, hides in songs. That one bass line is the way you walk, that soft vibrato is the way you talk. something brand new, but the radio is just a map of you. Even the old tracks have a hollow ring, a desperate attempt to make the sadness sing. Turn it up, turn it loud, let the speakers bleed. Give me the catharsis that I think I need, until the last note dies and the room goes black, and I realize the music isn't bringing you back. 'Cause pain has its songs in the bridge and the hook. It's the chapter we close, but we won't stop to look. It's a stowaway riding on a 4-bar phrase, pulling me back to our neon haze. I can't escape the rhythm or the way it feels, like a record spinning on broken wheels.
Don't play that track. I'm not ready to go back, but I keep hitting repeat, listening to my own defeat.
Just a song, just a song. I'm staring at the taillights of the year we shared, trying to remember when we stopped being scared of the miles between us and the silence in the hall. We used to be a mountain, now we're just a wall. I reached for your hand, but the air felt thin. I don't know where the goodbye starts to begin. The map is open, but the roads are all blurred. We're losing the meaning of every sweet word. I'm watching the colors bleed out into gray as the version of us starts to drift away. Your love faded into distance like a ship out at sea, until you were a stranger sitting next to me. No sudden explosion, no bridge set on fire, just a slow, steady cooling of a desperate desire. I yelled out your name, but the echo was gone. Love faded into distance, and I'm left with the dawn. Your face is a photograph, losing its light, a ghost in the steady in the middle of the night. We didn't notice the horizon getting wide until we were standing on the opposite the longest goodbye, watching the blue drain out of the sky. We didn't run out of hope or of breath, we just let the distance become our slow death. And I'm left with the dawn, going, just a speck on the line where the earth meets the sky. I'm waving at nothing. Goodbye. The piano plays one final, very soft note that sustains until it disappears. Held the door open, I paved the way. I gave you the words you were too scared to say. I built us a fire in the pouring rain, while you were still nursing the ghost of a pain. I was all in, with my heart on the line, but you were still living in borrowed time. I was ashore and you were away, looking for something you didn't want to say. I offered the sun, you preferred the shade, and watched as the plans that we whispered all decay. 'Cause you were never ready for a love this deep, for the secrets I gave and the promises I keep. You wanted the glow, but you feared the flame. Just the shore, always wanting less when I was giving more. Yeah, you were never ready, so I'm walking out the door. You kept one foot out and your bags by the bed, with a list of excuses all locked in your head. I tried to be patient, I tried to be still, waiting for you to climb up the hill. But you can't force a flower to bloom in the dark, or light up a soul that's afraid of a spark. It's not that you didn't feel it, I know that you did, but you spend our whole life staying safely hid. You weren't broken, you weren't unfair, you were just a ghost who was never quite there. Who's ready for me? But that wasn't you. No, that was never you. We're sitting at the table, just an inch apart, but there's a canyon growing right through my heart. You're talking about the weather and the morning news, while I'm drowning in the things we always refuse to mention out loud, to bring to the light. So we sit here in the gray, avoiding the white. It's the I'm fine that sounds like a plea. It's the it's okay that's killing me. We fill the kitchen with a hollow sound, while the heavy truth is just hanging around. Cause pain lives between words, in the breath you don't take, in the tremor of your hand and the way your eyes break. It's the silence that screams in the space in the air, the ghost of a sorry that's just never there. We're speaking in circles, but the center is gone. Pain lives between words, and it lingers on. The text you sent, it was short and it was sweet, but I could feel the coldness, I could feel the defeat. It's not what you said, it's what you left out, the I love you that's shadowed by a permanent doubt. We're masters of the subtext, scholars of the why, building a monument to a beautiful life. If I reached across the table and I broke the seal, would the floor fall away? Would it finally be real? But we're terrified of thunder, so we live in the clouds, wrapped in the safety of these quiet shrouds. 'Cause pain lives between words, in the breath you don't take, in the tremor of your hand, in the way your eyes break. It's the silence, the scream in the space in the air, the ghost of a sorry that's just never Listen. Do you hear it? The things we aren't saying, they're the only things left of a distant, closing door. I looked in the mirror at the break of the day, but the person I knew has gone far away. There's a hardness in eyes that used to be soft, and a heavy anchor where I once stayed aloft. I don't laugh as loud, I don't dream as deep, since I learned that some promises are for others to keep. It wasn't just a goodbye or a suitcase by the door, was the tectonic shift of my very core. The world is still spinning, the colors are the same, but I'm a different person with the same old name. 'Cause heartbreak changed my soul, it rewired the light, turned my summer days into permanent night. I'm not just lonely, I'm fundamentally new, born from the wreckage of losing you. The cracks are where the cold wind starts to blow. Yeah, heartbreak changed my soul, it won't let go. I used to be a house with the windows wide open. I'm forever always was quietly broken. Now I'm a fortress, I'm a wall made of stone, protecting a garden that I grow all alone. I've traded my hope for a sharp, bitter wit, and I'm learning to live in the shadow of it. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger instead, but I'm just tired of the war inside my head. I'm stronger, I guess, if strength is being numb to the beautiful things that I've since become. 'Cause heartbreak changed my soul, change my soul. The moon is just a hole cut in the black, and I'm waiting for a feeling to come back. The air is stagnant, the sheets are flat and gray. I'm just a witness to the ending of the day. I touch your side of the bed just to feel a spark, but I'm just tracing outlines in the dark. No tears are falling, no static in my chest, just a heavy hollow silence taking up the rest. I'm staring at the ceiling, waiting for the eight, but I'm so far gone, I haven't got a heart to break. And the night feel emotionless and cold, like a story that's been told and retold. I'm numb to the memory, I'm numb to the pain, just a ghost standing still in the freezing rain. No salt in the wound, no fire in the blue, just the nothingness that's left after losing you. Yeah, the nights feel emotionless. I remember when the darkness used to scream, like when you were still the center of the dream. But the volume's down, the signal's gone away. I'm just a movie playing in a slow motion gray. I check my pulse just to see if I'm still here, but I'm a stranger to the sadness and a stranger to the fear. I'd give anything to feel the sting again, to have the gravity of where and when. But the walls are padded and the light is thin, and I can't find the door to let the hurting in. 'Cause the nights feel emotionless and cold, like a story that's been told and retold. I'm numb to the memory, I'm numb to the pain, just a ghost standing still in the freezing rain. nothing's right. Just another emotionless night. The music doesn't fit. I used to keep your sweater just to feel the heat. Now it's just a heavy fabric, bitter and bittersweet. The fireplace is loaded, but the matches won't strike. I'm living in a season that I didn't think I'd like. Your name used to taste like the summer afternoon. Now it's just a hollow whistle to a lonely tune. I touch my chest to find a spark, but I'm just a candle dying in the dark. The windows are frosted, the air is thin. I can't find a place where the warmth lived in, 'cause the love turned cold inside, like a river that froze while it tried to hide. There's no fire in the hallway, no light in the hall, just the sound of the winter hitting the wall. I'm shivering in a house we used to call home, wrapped in a frost that I built on my own. Yeah, the love turned cold inside. We were a wildfire, we were a sun, but look at the damage that the distance has done. Every I love you is a breath you can see, hanging like a ghost between you and me. I'm not angry, I'm not even sad, I'm just missing the fever that we used to have. They say the ice will melt when the spring comes round, but I'm buried 6 feet under the frozen ground. It's a permanent January, a deep-seated chill, and no matter how I scream, the heart stays still. 'Cause the love turned cold inside, the space you left behind. I saw the clouds gathering a year ago, but I kept on walking where the tall grass grows. I knew the bridge was swaying in the gale, but I reached for the hand that was turning pale. They say you shouldn't build on shifting sand, but I love the way it felt slipping through my hand. I read the warnings on the jagged rocks, I heard the ticking of the countdown clocks, but I dove in head first, knowing I'd drown just to see the world from the bottom down. 'Cause heartbreak feels unavoidable tonight, like the moon chasing sun out of the light. It's a train on the tracks, it's a stone in the air, it's the gravity pulling at the love we share. I could have run, I could have hid, but I'd do it all again, just like I did. It's in the way your hello has a jagged edge, it's in the way I'm leaning off the window ledge. We're just two stars on a collision course, driven by a quiet, irresistible force. The crash is coming, I can hear the sound, but I'm still holding on until we hit the ground. Maybe it's the price for the heights we reached, maybe it's the lesson that the silence preached, that everything beautiful has to eventually break, and this is the debt that I'm happy to take. Cause worth it all. The guitar cuts out, leaving only the sound of a metronome clicking until it stops. I'm sitting in the kitchen as the morning breaks, counting up the cost of all our old mistakes. The house is full of noise from the street outside, but in here there's nowhere left for me to hide. I'm looking at your picture on the mantelpiece, waiting for the thunder in my chest to cease. My throat is tight, my breath is getting short. A sinking ship that's never gonna find a port. I wanna scream until the windows start to crack, but there's no volume in the way I'm falling back. And the tears fall without sound, like autumn leaves hitting the frozen ground. No heavy rain, no crashing of the sea, just the quiet way you're leaving me. I'm breaking in the silence, dying in the dark, while the world goes on without a single spark. Yeah, my tears fall without sound. I watched you walk away beneath the porch light glow. You didn't hear the stay because I let it go. It's a ghost of a sorrow, a shadow of a grief, a long, slow winter with no hope of relief. I'm crying in a language that has no name, a hollow flicker from a dying flame. They say the loudest cry is the one you never hear, the one that's fueled by the ghost of a fear. I'm a masterpiece of fire, a statue made of stone, while I'm drowning in a puddle on my own. 'Cause the tears fall without sound, like autumn leaves hitting the frozen ground. No heavy rain, no crashing of the sea, just the quiet way you're leaving me. I'm breaking in the silence, dying in the dark, while the world goes on without a single spark. Drip, drip. Can you hear the quiet? The loudest riot is the one inside. watched the sun go down 1,000 times since we ran out of rhythm and we ran out of rhymes. I thought by now the edges would start to blur, that I'd forget the way forever whispers. But the calendar is lying, the pages never turn. I'm still standing in the center of the bridge we had to burn. They told me time was a river that would carry me away, but I'm anchored in the wreckage of a single Tuesday. Every morning is a mountain that I'm too tired to climb. I'm a prisoner of once in the middle of no time. 'Cause heartbreak feels endless, a circle with no sign, a sea that's always coming in and never has a tide. I'm running through a tunnel where the light is just a light, a long, slow hello and a permanent goodbye. It doesn't get better, it just gets deep, while the heartbreak feels endless even in my sleep. I saw your car today at the light on 4th and Main, and for a second I forgot the gravity of pain. I reached for my phone just to tell you the news before I remember I'm the one you didn't choose. The wound isn't closing, it's just getting wide, like an empty canyon with no place left to hide. Is there a finish line? Is there a shore? Or is this just the person I am anymore? A ghost in the machinery, a shadow on the wall, just waiting for the other shoe to finally fall. just another The streetlights cast a cold and hollow glow on all the things I'm forced to finally know. The kettle whistles to an empty room. The shadows in the corners start to bloom. I pull the covers tight against the chill, but the space beside me is a void I cannot fill. The day is just a mask I wear to hide the hollowed out disaster left inside. But when the world goes quiet and the sun begins to set, I'm drowning in an ocean of a long and deep regret. 'Cause the nights hurt without you in the dark. Every silence is a flame, every memory is a spark. I'm a pilot in the fog, I'm a sailor with no blue, just a heart that's beating heavy with the ghost of me and you. The clock is just a hammer, the stars are just a view. Yeah, the nights hurt without you. I found your handwritten note inside the book. I'm terrified to take a second look. Always is a word that should be banned, like building castles in the shifting sand. Oh, the moonlight is a spotlight on the floor where I used to hear your footsteps by the door. I trade 1,000 mornings just to have one lonely, where you weren't just a shadow getting ready to leave. But the moon is just a mirror of the things I'll never be, and the dark is just a cage that'll never set me free. Every silence is a flame, every memory is a spark. I'm a pilot in the fog, I'm a sailor with no blue, just a heart that's beating heavy with the ghost of me and you. 3 a.m. still awake, wondering how much more a heart can take. The nights hurt, yeah, they hurt. clock is ticking, but the room is standing still. I'm swallowing the silence like a bitter pill. I watched you pack your shadow, left the keys upon the shelf. Now I'm living in a house where I don't recognize myself. The moon is hanging heavy, like a question in the sky. Why does forever always come with a goodbye? I try to close my eyes and drift away, but the ghosts of us have too much left to say. The bed is wide, the air is cold and thin, and I don't know where you end and I begin. 'Cause broken feelings never go to sleep. They're the promises we were too tired to keep. I'm drowning in the quiet, diving in the deep, while these broken feelings never go to sleep. Oh, they never go to sleep. I found your favorite sweater in the bottom of the drawer. It smells like rainy Sundays and the life we had before. I reached out in the darkness just to touch your empty side, but there's nowhere left for a shattered heart to hide. The static in my head is playing our favorite song, telling me exactly where it all went wrong. They say that time is a healer, that the wounds will eventually close, but the thorns are still stinging long after the death of the rose. I'm wide awake at 3 a.m., screaming without a sound, building up these walls just to watch them hit the blind. But I'm still lost inside my mind, still awake, still breaking. Yeah, they never go to sleep. The stars are needles on a velvet sheet, and I'm just walking on these hollow streets. I look at the messages I never should have sent, and all the I love yous that were only lent. The clock is bleeding minutes on the floor, while I'm staring at the handle of a locked up door. I'm a master of the what if and the could have been, replaying every battle that I didn't win. I'm digging through the ashes for a single spark, but I'm just getting covered in the suited and the dark. 'Cause the nights bleed with regret, a deep and heavy red, for every bitter word and everything we never said. I'm drowning in the ink of a story gone wrong, trying to find the melody to a ghost of a song. The silence is a stain that I can't wash away. Yeah, the nights bleed with regret until the gray day. I found the map where we traced our future out. Now it's just a paper filled with ghosts of doubt. I should have held on tighter when the wind began to blow, but I was too busy being proud and letting go. Now the cold is moving in to take the empty space, and I'm seeing my mistakes in every stranger's face. If I could turn the shadows back into the light, I'd fix the broken pieces of that final night. But the ink is dry and the pages are torn, and I'm just left here waiting for the dawn to be born. still The clock on the wall, yeah, is just a ghostly sound, marking the silence on this hollow ground. I thought I'd run dry by the break of day, but the gray in my spirit won't fade away. Every breath is a struggle, every thought is a sting. Since you stole the light from every living thing, and crying feels endless, a river of soul, searching for a reason or someone to fall. It's a leak in the soul that I can't quite plug, a hollowed out ache from a final shrug. The floodgates are open and the tide is high. Crying feels endless since you said goodbye. I see your shadow in the steam of the glass, waiting for the pain to finally pass. But the water keeps falling like winter rain, tracing the map of everything in vain. I'm drowning in memories I can't erase, lost in the lines of your is there an ocean big enough for all these tears to carry away all the wasted years? I'm tired of the weeping, I'm tired of the blue, but crying is the only thing that connects me. Crying feels endless, a river of salt, searching for a reason or someone to fault. It's a leak in the soul that I can't quite plug, a hollowed out ache from a final shrug. The floodgates are open and the tide is high. Crying feels endless since you said goodbye. Endless, like a sky without a sun, like a race that's never done. Just let it rain, let it pour, until I can't feel you anymore. Crying feels endless. I watch the sunset bleed into a grayscale sky. counting all the reasons why we said goodbye. The coffee's getting cold on your side of the bed, and I'm replaying every single word we never said. I tried to scrub your shadow off the hardwood floor, but the ghost of us keeps walking through the door. They told me there's a bottom to this hollow deep, but I'm falling through the promises you couldn't keep. Every clock is ticking, but the hands don't move. I'm just a tragic record stuck inside a broken groove. I'm searching for the exit, for a little light, but this tunnel stretches further every lonely night. It's a cycle, it's a fever, it's a cold distress, and this heartbreak feels endless. I saw your sister's name pop up on my screen, and for a second I forgot what over had to mean. My heart did that stumble, that familiar old ache, like a bridge that's been waiting for years just to break. I'm walking through the grocery store, staring at the shelves, looking for the people that we used to call ourselves. Is there a map for this desert, a cure for the sting, or am I just a bird with a permanent broken wing? They say the end is a destination you eventually find, but I'm still tracing circles in the back of my mind. They told me there's a bottom to this hollow deep, but I'm falling through the promises you couldn't keep. Every clock is ticking, but the hands don't move. I'm just a tragic record stuck inside a broken groove. I'm searching for the exit, for a little light, but this tunnel stretches further every lonely night. It's a cycle, it's a fever, it's a cold distress, and this heartbreak feels endless. Endless, like the rain against the pane. Endless, like the echo of your name. I'm waiting for the finish line to finally appear, but I'm still standing right back here. Yeah, it feels endless.